channel. It's your girl Anija Cherie, and I am here with yet another video. And this video is going to be a cook with me video. I am going to show you guys how I bake chicken spaghetti. My son been wanting chicken spaghetti, and I was actually supposed to make it for the team event that they had, but because of the snowstorm, all the events were canceled. And I already unthawed the chicken, so I still have to make it. So I am going to go ahead and cook it with y'all. Yeah, it was canceled. All of them. Every last one of them. So I am going to go ahead and just do a video. And you guys are going to watch me prepare the cook with me video. And it will not be no, I will do it as a voiceover because it's easier to do cook with me's with voiceovers. But I decided to do an intro and an introduction to tell you guys what's actually about to happen and what was about to take place. So you guys, if you guys are actually interested in this cook with me video, this cook with me tutorial, then you know what to do. Just stay put and enjoy the video. So without further ado, let's jump into.
First, I'm going to start by cutting up all the peppers of my choice. Here, I'm using red peppers, yellow peppers, orange peppers, and a green pepper. This is all by choice. I like the different flavors that it gives my foods. So this is why I use the many different peppers that I'm using. And I cut them up in big size chunks versus small little chunky pieces because that's how I prefer. Now I'm going to do the same with the celery. I only use one celery stalk and I chop that up as well. It enhances the flavor of your meats, natural flavors from the vegetables. And I also did the same with an onion, chopped up an onion. Now I have 4 chicken breasts that's already thawed, washed, and ready to go. And I'm going to season that with seasonings of my choice. You don't have to use any of the seasonings that I'm using in this video, but this is what I used. I used the all-purpose Greek seasoning as one of my seasonings. I used a little bit of Lawry's seasoning salt. Now, be mindful of your salt that you put on here because you can't over salt your food. I say this many a times. Use at your discretion, but be very generous while using the salt. Now I'm going to add some black ground pepper. Garlic powder. Onion powder. Now you don't have to use all these seasonings that I use, but this is what I like to use. And I also use paprika. Paprika to me really doesn't have a taste, but I like the color that it gives my meats or my foods in general, but especially my meats. It gives it a more appealing look. Now I'm mixing the meat up, but I'm flipping it over. As I'm mixing it up, I'm flipping the meat over, and I'm doing that to kind of blend in the powder, the garlic powder and stuff. Now I'm flipping it over to repeat the steps that I just done with all the seasonings. So I'm literally going to do the same process that I did on the first side on the second side. So pretty much just repeat your steps. Now I'm going to take this, it's called ichote. It's like a goye seasoning. I'll also use this too. I don't really think it makes a difference in flavoring, but well, actually it does. It enhances it. But as I told you, it gives your food, just like the paprika, this gives your food coloring. So I just did pretty much, I took one package and sprinkled it on both sides of the chicken. And it only took one pack of the little packet seasonings. I get them down the Hispanic food aisle at any grocery store, Walmart, Myers, anywhere you shop at, Kroger's, any store should have it. It's typically down the ethnic foods aisle. And I'm going to top it off with parsley flakes. Now, you guys, this is all by choice. You do not have to do this, but in the event that you want to, it is perfectly fine. Now I'm going to put all my chopped veggies in with the raw meat. And yes, you guys, it looks like a lot, but it's really not a lot. It just looks like a lot. Trust me, it's not a lot. You will thank me later if you do not use fresh veggies. Trust me, you will thank me later for using the fresh veggies. It makes a big difference, especially when it comes to meats and chicken breast. And also, I'm going to add some garlic. I buy the chopped garlic already crushed. because it's easier to use because I don't have a garlic crusher. But if you have a garlic crusher or you want to use fresh garlic, go right ahead. I don't have fresh garlic. I hate cutting up garlic, so I just buy it already chopped. Hey, it's convenient. Whatever works for you. Now I'm going to add a little bit of chicken stock because I wanted to make its own juice, but to me it doesn't make enough juice, so I go ahead and add a little chicken stock, pretty much just to coat the bottom of the pan. Now I'm going to top it off with the roasting top to the roaster pan, or however you cook your chicken, foil, whatever. And I'm going to place it in the oven on 350. I'm not sure how long I let it cook, but I'm going to say about an hour and a half or 2 hours. Now this is what it looks like when it's done. You see the juices? You want your juices in there. I am going to use those juices. Keep the juices. Do not throw it away. Now here you see me shredding my meats. And I'm going to shred it up. You can take it out and cut it up in chunks if you want to. But I find that it's easier for me to just shred it in a pot. And I can mix those veggies right on up in there along with those sweet savory juices. See? Nice and shredded. Now I'm placing a boil of water on the stove for the noodles, and I put a little salt in the water, and I'm going to bring that water to a boil first, a complete boil. And I do that by putting a top on it because it helps boil the water a lot faster. If you have a stove that cooks it faster, then bravo. Mine don't, so I have to help it out with a top. Now that my water has come to a boil, I am going to add my noodles of choice. Here I'm using spaghetti noodles. You can use thin spaghetti noodles, regular spaghetti noodles, rotini noodles, any type of noodle that you choose will work. But here I'm using spaghetti noodles because this is what I had. And as you guys can notice, I break my noodles up into twos because it's easier to mix up the spaghetti when I add all the other ingredients. Sometimes I even break it up into threes, but this time I didn't. I just broke it up into twos and called it a day. I did stir the noodles a little bit just to make sure they won't clump up together. Is to break it up a little bit as they get into the water. They tend to clump together, so I'm doing this to keep it from doing that. Then once I have brought the noodles to a boil, I stirred it again because I want to make sure the noodles are to my liking, which they are. So now I'm about to strain them. You want to strain all the water off your noodles. Remind you guys, I did not rinse my noodles after I drained them. I just drained them, and I'm going to use that same pot that I cooked the noodles in to make the cheese sauce. And yes, I am using a little bit of chicken stock to coat the bottom of it. I use more than a little, but this is my method. And I am just breaking the cheese up. It's a half a thing of Velveeta. It's not the whole long block, but I used the smaller one. And I'm going to stir that until it kind of breaks down. That is why I needed the chicken stock. You can use a cream base versus chicken stock, like a heavy cream or even milk. I chose not to for various reasons, to cut back on the richness of it. Because the more cream-based stuff you use, the more richer it will be. And because I'm going to add other stuff to it that's going to make it more richer, I didn't want to use heavy cream. Now, I have before, but I just didn't want to because I am going to add a can of cream of mushroom soup to it. You can use a can of cream of mushroom, cream of celery, cream of chicken, whatever you prefer. I like the flavor that the cream of mushroom gives it. Although I hate mushrooms, I still like the flavor that the cream of mushroom soup gives the cheese sauce. Now I did not show this on the video. I actually used 2 cans of cream of mushrooms because I needed 2 cans more than one. over one, but I did not show that to you guys. But you don't have to use 2 cans. I use 2 cans because I like the flavor and the texture that it gives me using 2 cans. I also seasoned my cheese sauce to give it a little flavor. And I did not use a lot. I just used a little bit so it can have a unique taste to it and it won't just be straight Velveeta cheese or cream of mushroom. So I add any seasons of your choice. Here you saw me use my all-purpose Greek seasoning and parsley flakes. You can use whatever you want to use. Now I'm just going to let this simmer and melt down. Well, it pretty much did simmer and melt down. I'm just stirring it to make sure I get all the clumps out because I want all the clumps completely gone. Now I added 1 can of Rotel. And I use the hot Rotel. You can use the mild or medium. I'm going to use the hot. And now I'm going to add my chicken. And I do a little bit at a time so I can easily mix in the chicken. And as you guys can see, the juices from the chicken is falling into that cheese sauce. You want that because that's where the flavor is in that in the meat. The stock from the meat. You always get good flavor from stock when you make your own stock with your meat. Now that I added all of my meat, I am going to add the spaghetti noodles. And I'm just going to blend it and mix it in until the noodles is evenly coated with all the sauce. This could be tedious. You probably could even put it in a pan and stir it easier, but I just don't want to mess up a whole bunch of dishes. So I just do it like that. Although I transferred it to a aluminum pan, I could have stirred it in that same pan. So now I'm going to put about half of the chicken spaghetti into this aluminum pan. One side of the handle, the side of the handle that I need to handle was a little hot, so I had to try to improvise. But I put half of the noodles into the pan and I spread it out evenly so it all wouldn't be one side. Now I'm gonna sprinkle the Mexican cheese on there. You can use any cheese you want, any cheese of your flavor. This is any cheese of your flavor, any cheese of your choice. This is just the cheese that I use because this is the cheese that I had at home and this is the cheese that I bought, so that's the cheese I use. So I'm just going to evenly spread that out and make sure it's evenly coated. And then I'm just going to pretty much repeat the steps. I'm going to put the last layer of chicken spaghetti on top of that and pretty much repeat my steps. Once I spread out my cheeses, I garnish it with cayenne pepper, paprika, and parsley flakes. You can omit this step, but I don't. Be mindful, cayenne pepper is hot. So sprinkle as much as you want. Just remember, it is spicy. I use it for garnishment, but I also use it to give it a kick too. As you guys can see, I didn't put a lot. I just put just enough for garnishment purposes solely, only. Now I am going to put it in the oven to let the cheeses melt, and I put it on 350, the same temperature I baked the chicken. I put it in the oven. I don't really have a set time. I put it in the oven until it was done, until the cheese was melted. Once you notice that your cheeses are melted, you can go ahead and remove it out of the oven, which here, this is what I'm doing. And there you guys have it, baked chicken spaghetti. It wasn't hard. It wasn't complicated. It's perfect. So y'all want to see what it looks like on the inside? Let me just scoop into it real quick. I'm just gonna show y'all. Just see. I mean, you can't really see it, but you know, it's creamy, it's good, it's spicy, and my family love it. I hope you guys enjoy this video as much as I enjoy creating the video. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up and also leave a comment in the comment section. And also do not forget to subscribe to my channel. And until next time, you guys, enjoy this recipe. Good night.